Good day, and by the time you hear this, we should be in the second year of Dorset Council's existence. A year ago, on the 1st of April 2019, the new Dorset Council came into being. It was less than a year since the parliamentary consent was finally given, and the pace of change was frenetic. The aim of the organisation has always been to provide more effective services to the residents of Dorset within tight financial constraints. The alternative of remaining the same was just not a financial option, as the world was a very different place from when the district councils were established within the county back in 1972. The world was a different place in terms of how local authorities related with central government and with residents, how local councils receive their income, and especially how communications take place. In 1972, a Dorset resident invented the World Wide Web, and subsequently emails came into general public use. The world has never been the same again. The year 2019-20 has not been an easy year for those working for our council. For all, it was known that reorganisation into one unitary body covering rural Dorset rather than 6 would mean their careers were under threat. Yet those same public servants carried on potentially working themselves out of a job for the general good. We also welcomed newcomers at all levels who brought new skills and enthusiasms. The price of reaching a more efficient and economic structure to serve our residents has been very high in terms of human effort and stress. The first year has ended with more of the same, in a desperate public health crisis which none of us could have foretold. The one unitary authority is much better placed to respond to the current public predicament than 6 smaller independent bodies. Councillors were determined to work collaboratively, cross-party from the beginning, and that has stood Dorset Council in good stead during the past year, and especially now. Dorset Council and its partner bodies were as prepared as they could reasonably be for dealing with the current pandemic, and I've received many compliments for our staff from outside organisations and individuals at the way Dorset Council has responded to this crisis with speed and with clear and effective communications. As government ministers have announced their actions daily for addressing the crisis, local government has had to find ways of implementing what has been promised to individuals, to businesses and to voluntary bodies, and seems expected to do so within hours of those announcements having been made. We will get through this, but the longer term challenge is to sustain and improve our economy, to provide a good quality of life for all our residents, to provide good education and jobs for our young people, especially for those for whom we are corporate parents, and also to address the challenges of climate change, which was and still is the most pressing underpinning part of our wider agenda. So what matters at the end of the first year of operation is for me as Chairman of Council to say many, many thank yous to all those Dorset Council workers who are currently working long hours to keep us safe in this stressful time. Our staff include workers who administer our services, generally based at County Hall, often derided as bureaucrats, but vital to delivering services from social care to bin collection and everything in between. Our council workers also include teachers and education workers, care workers, the bin men and women, our countryside rangers, social workers, environmental health, librarians, communications, economic and business development, archaeologists, planning officers, building control, car parking, highways, and I apologise to those I've missed. I'm sure that there are so many people serving our community. Prior to Christmas, my Vice Chairman and I tried to get round to visit as many teams as we could, both in County Hall and outlying offices, and it took us until February to get to most of them. I'm sure there are still some we've missed. The aim of our visits was to wish people a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Little did any of us know of the drama which was heading rapidly down the tracks, which would totally disrupt our lives. On behalf of all the councillors, I thank our current staff for your efforts over the past year and especially now. I thank the former staff of all 6 councils who worked selflessly to move us forward. I thank our residents for bearing with us as we took them on this journey into a new world, the reasons for which they often did not understand and certainly they suspected the motivation for. Dorset Council staff and councillors will eventually come out on the other side of COVID-19 stronger and better able to deliver our priorities to the people of Dorset. Finally, I wish everyone good health during this frightening time and hopefully for Dorset Council a very good year to come. Thank you for taking the time to listen.